What's up guys? I'm Amanda, the Botanical Brunette. Welcome to my channel. So today is June 1st. So I have to tell you guys all about the plants that I got in May. I kind of went a little overboard. I actually got 2 wishlist plants in the month of May. I also got some plant accessories that I want to share with you guys as well. Maybe some more plant animals. May was a pretty good month for me. Like I said, I got 2 wishlist plants in that month. So you may be thinking, Amanda, you have a $50 month budget. Why did you buy 2 wishlist plants? So my wishlist plant list is a little bit different. All the wishlist plants on that list aren't all rare. They could be pretty common. Like a Caletheia obifolia, that plant is pretty common and it's just one that I just been wanting. So eventually I'll get one of those. But I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on my plant wish list. So I have some updates for my plant wish list. So I've added a couple plants since you guys have seen it back in January. I have added probably a few plants and taken some off. I can't actually remember what plants I had taken off of my wish list, but I can tell you the plants that I've added, and I'll also share a wish list and show you the ones that I've checked off so far. I still have the Caletheia obifolia. I still have the Snow Queen pothos. Don't know why I just can't find a good one. I've seen some that were like pretty expensive, and I don't know why the Snow Queen pothos is expensive. I just can't find like a good size one for what I'm willing to pay for. So I have a bunch of wishlist plants still on here, like my main wishlist plants, but I have also added a lot more plants to my honorable mentions. I only have 11 main wishlist plants on my wish list, and then I have a bunch of honorable mentions. So if I have a $50 budget and I get a Caletheia obifolia that cost me 20 bucks, I can go out and get another plant that might cost $20 to $30 with trying to keep in my $50 budget. Again, I'm kind of loosely doing my $50 budget still because I'm now focusing on wishlist plants and only getting around 1, maybe 2 plants a month instead of buying all the plants I can for $50. I'm buying like kind of plants that I've been really wanting. My collection has just gotten so overwhelming and so big that I need to kind of like chill for a minute and like actually buy plants that I want versus plants that I just see on Instagram and I'm like, I want it because everybody else has it. That's basically like my wish list in a nutshell the last 6 months that I've been doing. But I wanted to share some plants that I've added onto my honorable mentions that you guys may not have seen back in January. So I added like another anthurium, I added an umbrella plant, saw an umbrella plant at a plant shop, and I fell in love with it. They're just so pretty. So I now want to get like a big umbrella plant. I actually am sort of kicking myself for not getting it. I saw it in Knoxville when my husband and I went on a road trip a couple weeks ago. And I really should have bought it then, but I'm like, we were like halfway through our road trip and I'm like, I would have to take this plant in with me every time we would stop. I can't let it sit in the car. So it was just gonna be too much of a hassle. So I was like, you know what, we'll just find one locally. So my wish list has gotten a little bit different. So I still have 6 more months. We're halfway through the year, guys. Like, can you even believe that? Like, crazy. Like, it's so crazy. I have 6 more months to buy wish list plants and I'm almost done with my wish list. So I'm gonna continue to keep adding onto that wish list and everything, so you guys will be able to see that. But let's get into why you guys are actually here and let's look at the plants and plant supplies that I got for the month of May. In true plant haul fashion for me, I will tell you what plants I got as I got them. Also, I will put in the bottom corner what the price of the plant was, and at the end we'll total it up and see if I made my budget or not. And I can tell you that I probably did it. So the first plant that I got in the month of May is this very wet, because I just watered it, Hoya Wayeti or Wayetii, however you kind of want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways, so, but like, look how beautiful these long leaves are. Like, I'm like so in love with this plant. So this was actually a plant that I had been wanting for a while. I was between this Hoya and another Hoya that I can't think of the name of, but I will put it up here. I was between those two, and I was basically just kind of basing it on what I could find cheapest and what I could find like kind of like bang for your buck, like a bigger plant for a smaller price. So I wound up getting the Wayeti just because it was a little bit more readily available than the other Hoya, and there was really like, honestly, like the difference between those two Hoyas, like the Wayeti has like the dark, like it has like a dark like green, sometimes it's like black rim around the foliage, where the other Hoya doesn't have that, and also the leaves are longer on the other Hoya. I didn't really care for that much, but I saw this, I've seen this plant a lot on Instagram, and I'll be honest, I was influenced and I got it because of that. I kind of like to find Hoyas that are a little bit more common and a little bit like, I like trailing plants. So any Hoyas that are trailing, I will 100% go for. I just like saw this on Etsy and I just had to buy it. It's just so gorgeous. It's so pretty. So when I saw this plant, I thought, oh, I have the perfect planter in mind for this plant. And the planter that I got for the month of May is a planter that has actually been on my Amazon. It's been in my like save for later Amazon cart for literally months. Like, I'm telling you, months. And I'm like, oh, I just don't know what plant to put in it or this or that. So I got this little beauty, this planter. So this is the planter, back up. So this is a hanging planter that I got for that Hoya. Now, seeing them together, you're gonna understand why you're like, yeah, that was a good call. Also, I love the clear pot that Hoya is in because it helps me see the roots, but like, come on. Can you imagine when it's gonna be really big and traily? Like, I just cannot wait for this thing to grow and get super big. But like, I'm so like in love with the look of that. Ugh, it's so pretty. So this plant hanger was, again, it's been on my Amazon cart for such a long time. And I just was like, you know what? I have that Hoya coming. Let me just bite the bullet and get it. So this planter, if you guys are looking to buy this planter, I will link it below so you guys can get the same exact planter. I've seen a couple people get the same planter, but they'll get a few and kind of like stagger them. Like, I think that would be really pretty. I'm actually gonna put this down, it's very loud. I've seen people like kind of take that planter and buy several and stagger them, and it's really pretty. Like, if you get like multiple. I'm kind of at max capacity in my living room with like hanging stuff. I am kind of fighting myself between like being like minimal but also lots of plants. It's just, I'm kind of battling my home decor right now, so I don't want to do too much with like a bunch of stuff hanging off my ceiling. So I got one of them, and it honestly is just such a statement piece, like right over my couch. It's just so beautiful. I'm really excited to like add at least both of those to my collection. I've had actually the planter on my wish list for longer than the plant, but as soon as I saw the Wayeti, I was like, the perfect planter for that plant, so it was my excuse to buy it. After that, I was like, all right, cool, like I'm done. Like, I've spent my budget, and I had a little bit of money left over of my budget. So I was like, well, what can I get? So I thought about it, and I absolutely love Larry. You guys saw it in my last plant haul. So I got more little plant animals. So I got this little snake. So this is a snake. It has like 2 spots here where you can like pin it on a leaf. And it's just like really pretty. Like, it's just really kind of nice on my monstera. I got this snake because it was just different. It wasn't one that like kind of hangs off your plants versus like it just kind of like sits on the plant, and it's just like, I I don't know, a little bit of like bling for your plants. Like I just love the little snake. It's just kind of like really like cute and edgy. So I got the snake, and then my favorite one, which when I got Larry, I couldn't decide on Larry or this one, and I wound up getting both because I have no self-control. And that is this cute little spider monkey. I got him, and he actually sits on my pothos. So I have it originally started as a propagating pothos, and now it's kind of turned into just a pothos that just lives in water. But I was like, I think that this guy would look perfect on there, and I absolutely love it. Like, it is just so cute on there. I get people asking about it all the time. So these cute little plant animals, like, highly recommend it. If you guys want to check out her shop, she is Another Studio on Etsy. Again, I'll link her shop below so you guys can see. But they're just so cute, and they're just so like fun to add into your plants, and just kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of like I said, like a cute little bling that you can put on your plants. You know, that just makes me smile, makes me happy. I was like, all right, done. Like, done with my plants. I got enough plants, and then Etsy gets me with the sales. So I have a few now. Since I've bought a lot from Etsy, I buy a lot of my plants from Etsy. I try to support like small businesses. I do try to also go to like my local nurseries and stuff like that, but a lot of times those plants are kind of expensive. I buy stuff from them when I can, but I find that I like to almost like price hunt different plants online. So, and Etsy is kind of a good place for that. I feel like I'm still supporting a small business, but also getting a good price. So I found this seller on Etsy. They're called Salad Beard Farms. They're actually in Apopka, Florida, which is like right, like literally next to Orlando. And I have ordered a few plants from them. I actually have a Alocasia zebrina. It's my fourth one that I bought. The zebrinas that you guys saw in that plant haul, they definitely died. Yeah, so this is my fourth zebrina. It's in moss, it's growing, I think. It doesn't have root rot, so we're hopeful for that. But I got another plant from him. So basically this shop sells starter plants. And what starter plants are just small like plants in like little plugs that have grown. But even though they're smaller plants, they still are super leafy and super lush. So I am excited to show you my next plant, and that is this Alocasia Silver Dragon. This is my second silver dragon. The first one I had wound up dying. I'm always one of those people that like, I'll try it again. I'm not like, oh, I'll never get an Alocasia again. I try again. You know, I jump on that horse and I try and try and try. I'll tell you this, if I root rot this zebrina, I probably won't get another zebrina for a while. Maybe until I can afford like a big one. But I like couldn't resist. They had a sale, and I just jumped on it and I bought it, and I just love like these beautiful like silvery leaves. Like, oh, it's so pretty. The last silver dragon that I got from it was another starter plant, and the seller was a little sketchy. She kind of like, she sent me the plant and then immediately closed her shop down. But when she sent me the plant, like the plant was not in good condition. I tried to revive it, but unfortunately it was like too far gone, and I wasn't really that great about like propagating alocasias. I've actually, since my zebrina, I've gotten a little bit better at like propagating zebrinas, but yeah, alocasias are a little bit tough. They're kind of hard, and you know, you have to kind of play with it. unfortunately, and kind of like learn a good routine and a good system when you have an alopecia that might need help. So for me, which kind of leads me into really quick to talk about one of my videos coming up. I'm going to be doing a corm video, so we will learn how to grow corms. So my first Zabrina that I showed you in one of my plant hauls, I think it was March plant haul, I got my first Zabrina, and it wound up getting sent to me root rotted, but I was able to save some of the corms from that plant, and they have started to sprout. They're rooted really well. So I wanted to kind of go into a tutorial and kind of show you guys what I've been doing with my corms. So keep your eye out on that. I'm also going to do that was just like a quick like what's coming up next. But let's talk about how much money I spent in the month of May. If you guys were not totaling it up, you guys may guess by now that I went over my budget. I spent $80.58, which puts me at $30 over my budget. But again, I did say in the beginning, all last year, I had a $50 budget and I tried to stick with it as much as I could. Well, tried to. This month, I loosely have a $50 budget. I want to try to stick around $50 for the wish list plants, but if I wind up spending over, I'm not gonna I really don't care. Like, it's just, you know, whatever. But I'm just really excited, like, to get those plants, add those plants to my collection. Also those cute little plant supplies. I have a couple cool videos coming up for you guys, like I had mentioned, but I also have a couple other videos that are coming up that are like how-tos and like DIYs, but like plant related. So stay tuned for all those videos. But I kind of want to know, like, what videos are you guys looking to see from me? Like, what videos are you really enjoying that I put out that you want to see more of? Or what kind of videos are basically like what you're looking at, like when you're looking at other plant influencers, or if you're like, no one's ever talking about this, let me know, because I'm always up for more ideas and just like topics to talk about. That's it for today. I hope you guys all have a great day and stay botanical.